Gentlemen, and welcome to the final of the Nirvana Turkish Masters. It's Selt.
All set then for Aun, going for ranking title number 23. Both struggling to final, particularly the first ever here. Trump to get us underway in frame one of a possible 19. 10 is the target, 8 this afternoon.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, as you event in his career, this week, that Selt, not that Selt, fits the same category as Judd did, you know. These results can happen.
A month, another big money event, 150,000 for the winner of that, a guaranteed 20,000.
Got very edgy yesterday, and really that's why he's playing. I think had he not had that stroke of luck.
Of course, he won the Indian Open in 2019, netting himself £50,000 a couple of times. Perhaps should have done, but here he is in the final.
Foreshortens the angle. It's not a simple pot.
One spot below is he could yet qualify as of right for the Crucible without to make sure he can stay with Trump in the early running.
21.
It's a fast track to the top 16.
The way in which he managed to hold himself together in the end yesterday against
35. $42.
Already play it in the
counter if he'd missed it. So that is a sign of the confidence he's feeling. Never looked in to be.
Good pot.
4-1 behind to win the last 4 frames, and did something similar against Zhou Yulong, who also had. Of course, he's looking for his first. He'd love to go to Gibraltar with.
Because you can. It was played in an area nudging the black. I think that was.
Judd Trump 22.
I guess it was worth a try to get the thin.
Foul.
Oh, he's overcut it, and he's caught the
Moment here.
1.
And he's.
9. 13. 16.
The things that could stop him from where the balls are.
20. 25.
I think he's consciously, unless he doesn't get on the black properly. There you have it. Amazing. How about that for a miss? How about that?
Very strong safety game, which he can use when his scoring isn't there to be competitive.
Well, he's played it the right way. He may well have gone for the... Trying to avoid the in-off. Played it really well.
Yeah, that was a good pot and a big relief. Right centre, and he leads by 1 frame to lead 1-0. 7 more frames in this first session. 10 the target for the title. £100,000 and points.
It's on him. Ooh, well, he thought he could. Now this, I don't know if you're going to want these put back. Well, that's what he tried first time.
Well, that's a terrific pot.
Did that bounce out? He hit it so firmly.
1.
He's almost been playing on Matt Selt's terms right now.
Yes, and that's precisely how things managed to start getting in and show his usual fluency, and that's when the match turned against Selt. Well,
this could open some reds up. And indeed the black. So that's a proactive.
Oh.
no, you're right, for a while, but he's been able to fall back on his other skills to get him to 2 consecutive finals.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's a good...
Frame.
50.
But that is in a safe area. But he was okay.
23. 31. 39.
Well, he's had to show some pay first frame when he was presented with that chance to steal it after Selt's break.
Yeah, for a second it appeared that Selt had got out there, but last night his long game at the moment is not. It's all about confidence at times, not always about a technical issue. But clearly can keep you out for it long enough in a frame.
So Judd Trump breaks off in. This time the long red eludes Selt. He knocked in a great one.
With a They're moving a few reds out. Well, all he's done actually is early stage is handy, you know, to get a high value colour in play like this in the sort of way.
8.
And the pig is at hand as well, so it's worked out better than okay, I suppose. Get stuck in. I'm frightened to offer an opinion on how things are going or a view.
23.5. But at the moment, Matt Selt is operating at well over, wrong with Selt playing as he is, because he has to play to his strengths, and clearly he doesn't. Repeating, he won the UK Championship match earlier this season, but he can't afford errors like that.
Just when he was ticking over quite well again. That much table time if you're his opponent. It's quite early. It's not an easy shot to play. He's got to catch it thin. But I have to say that is quite well played. The 2-1.
Team Brussels miss out to Zhao Jintong in the final of the UK.
To finish, to get on it.
24.
Want to lose in 2 in a row. It's kind of the fate that's fallen into, isn't it?
Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be the opportunity. But in the meantime, this match has been played on Matt Selt's terms so far. Way to go, but it's a promising.
Well, that's a concern, isn't it? But this time.
Well, there's your answer. There was space for that.
Balls in orthodox positions is what Judd wants. To be out in the open, it suits him.
16.
To play anything like that.
30. 38.
Matt Selt in the semi-finals on his way to his second title. Great year, by the way. He will claim the Bet Victor bonus of £150,000.
Dominance of the game into the reds this time.
He has looked a little frustrated.
So now he's on the brink of getting this.
Be Trump's frame. Once again, the crowd quick to acknowledge frame ball.
16.
8 or 9. He's made a few very telling breaks like this one. That was a good shot. The century is definitely on there.
To expect from him, but he scored at crucial moments. He's won the big frame. Last evening, Sean Murphy obviously resigned now to having to share to come after the interval in this first session. 10 the target season in their UK Championship meeting. And there is the century in 2005. He's still some way behind Ronnie O'Sullivan, but centuries made as against matches played and frames played, he will have more centuries than anyone. Relish his CV. And I think he'll feel a whole lot better for the way in which probably like to stay out there now. Oh, what a shot this is.
Wow, this is a great shot, isn't it? There, brilliant.
Dazzling stuff from Judd Trump on the pink. The crowd absolutely pleased to be level. First interval here in the of 8 in this first session, and of course 10 is the target for the title this evening.
Probably going to get another.
I don't think he'd have minded the interval, Selt, because he'd just seen Trump knock in that 100.
Pace-wise, he was a little bit shy on pace, but it's just not only that. Let's see if he can get it this time. Well, that's it. He's played.
Really well cued. Back towards the cube.
9. $25.
At this, he might want to just brush into the punch. He's decided to.
32.
I guess there's an argument if you're in Judd Trump's corner, you just.
38.
So it all was definitely. That's a good shot. Surely he's on one, is he?
Selt skills are more in terms of
Up to something. No, we don't fancy. Deciding that all he could do was drop into the. That's a good shot played at that.
6.
take control of this first session. Brilliant 120 break in the previous frame, a 52 point.
Is the plan anyway?
He is so good at those shots, Judd Trump. Trump looks rather different now.
Don't think it's going to come now. Let's put the seal on.
Red into the right centre, but lost position. And then left. Team from Trump. since they were posing with that ginormous trophy. And he'll now be targeting some sort of advantage going into the momentum back on his side. But in the meantime, it's Judd title of the season.
They caught that one dangerously on the thick side, which means...
Now that is a little bit of a concern. But he's begun to play a lot better now.
$30.
We can put the black into the opposite corner, somewhere up there.
Year or two here.
Yeah, I mean, certainly moving the wreck into gear. And you know, needs to the spell between the afternoon session and the evening.
And the reason for that, of course, is that he's... So the tempo of the match very much...
$49.
He's actually played the safe. Well, as you can see, it was not particularly close.
He wasn't going to be leaving anything.
I think the problem for Matt Selt is just feel he's gone quiet at the moment. Matt not playing.
Now, clearly, Matt Selt is happy to, again, touching ball, just pushing the black set. But he hasn't missed it. He didn't look like missing it. He's playing. And he's threatening to take a firm grip on this.
Yeah, he's done all the hard work, isn't that? For what happens from here, these next two frames are really important because he'll be a long way towards it. It's been the case, I think, certainly the case in the previous frame.
One. And the catalyst was that superb send the crowd going. What was it, 7 cushions to pot it? Wow, couldn't have got much closer, could he? It's a good bit of cueing, actually, but it's just not happening.
Very good.
The applause, and it was justified, but it still wasn't good enough to keep Trump at bay.
Not worked out. No, I think we could see this one's fate a long way out because we. Oh goodness me! I don't think he hit the right red there.
At that stage, he was looking pretty fed up, but then out of the blue, he misses a blue. This feels like a big visit for...
I don't know if he got a kick. I didn't notice one. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. Start from a low sort of base, I suppose. You can get 35, 40.
8.
The pot there, and I tell you what, he's all over the place at the moment.
34 seconds a shot, which is, to put it into context, the best part of 2 seconds slower than the slowest player. He's just become a little ground down, or
Oh man, Matt has got another chance to ram things up, find a bit of rhythm, play quicker.
1.
but if he can establish a bit.
7. Matthew Selt, 12.
It was a risk.
Matthew Selt, 1.
That is a great shot. I didn't think there was all that.
Judd.
And that is a very sweetly struck.
9.
Cue ball on the left of the table. Probably from about there, he believes it does go. Yeah, that's well.
And he struck it very nicely. It was missable, of course.
Other than that, high value colours are exactly where you'd want them if you were behind in the frame. Yeah, I think initially he was. Equation.
Yeah, nicely done.
Well, this is a very. Things were starting to slip very much away from him. But he'd have to turn his attentions onto winning it, and then he'll be, in the end, the happier player of the.
Not pretty, but he won't care a jot about that. It's all about winning it, and he's done that.
Tell you what, free of all restrictions, and that's the great occasion for him, a big match, and he's a little bit tense this afternoon, all things considered.
At this stage of his career, and trying to bring secret for any player. He has really shown a lot when he won the Indian Open, and this was a must-win frame, really, and he has won it. And so it's game back on here in the final of the tournament. Points, and to walk away, assuming they're strong enough to walk away.
We don't know who it is yet either, because he left this red on. Well now.
7.
He's only made one so far today. But, of course, he'd only made one ranking quarter-final. As I mentioned, it's been a fascinating season. And one of the more unpredictable ones in recent.
He trundled in very nicely.
This time just stroking it in. He's going to need to attend to the reds sooner rather than later, but
25.
always.
33.
So the break ends. It's a handy lead this evening. And that sort of intimidating or
Have a situation where the players can't. But something's got to give here sooner or later.
Selt trying to get that cue ball up the other end. I can understand why. Rolling into that bunch is just going to get Terry Camerly. So, oh, he's made all kind of error there. That's a, of course, as you saw, the cue ball crashed into the reds, and this is a big moment.
Suddenly it's not looking so handy. It could quickly evaporate here. Opportunity to strike and land a significant blow, not just the frame, but frame advantage into tonight's finale. But clearly,
70.
he said it a couple of times, and he's produced his best form when he's been in.
25.
Red not quite as planned, but the table became very open.
32.
It covered well, so now Judd will probably be 20 odd in front at that point, where he'll be putting all his attention in the next few shots.
48.
At this stage, he's gone for it, and that's always the case. The middle, he's gone for putting a ball safe.
Judd, 56.
Oh my goodness me.
That is one in the frame in one visit for Selt, but they are going to take their break because an absolute screamer of a fluke, one that you'd be
Some that aren't taken advantage of by that win frames, win crucial frames at crucial junctures of ranking finals, and that's 3 snookers on the blue. And Selt has got to somehow get that injustice out of his system going into this evening's deciding, and threatened to tie the session, getting him first in that 8th frame, but Trump has altered.
No.